Good morning. Well, it's been an interesting few days for me. Yes. I got my truck back $2,300 later. And on top of that, I found out my wife's car needed some work done. That was another $300. Good morning, Neil. And how you doing? Man, that was a great stream you had with Irate the other night. That was really a good job. Nice job. You ain't all that bad after all that. Ray. Yeah, but hey, I got my truck back, and that was good news for me. You didn't sound nervous. You sounded a really good job. However, I am disappointed. You didn't pick me for your undersub. I am disappointed in you. But that's okay. I can understand. Anyway, yeah, I did screw up here this morning. I had to take stuff out of the loaner car and just put it in my garage. And I thought I'd closed my garage door. And, I hit the button. Garage door started coming down, so I drove off. And I'm on my way home, and I get a text. Somebody drove by my house, noticed that both vehicles were gone, and my garage door is still open. I'm going, oh, no. Yeah, you did. But, so I get to the house. My garage door is standing wide open, and I'm like, oh. So I pull up my security camera to see if anybody decided to help themselves to anything out of my garage, and everything was still there. I was happy camper. I get in the house, and I can't find our cat. It's like, oh, good God, did the cat get out into the garage and then with the door open, get out and lost somewhere? I'm looking around for the cat. I'm looking. Can't find him anywhere. He's not in the house. I go out in the front yard. I'm looking on the road, see if he's dead out on the road. No, he's not. I go to the side yard that's fenced in where we let the dog stay out. And there's the cat sitting there by the door, waiting to come in. The wife would kill me if that cat had gotten lost or hurt. And it was my fault because it got out like that. She would have shot me. I know she would have. I'd had to hide all the guns in the house because that's her bud. Wife sitting on the couch, and that cat is right there between her knees. He will not. Hey, when you're talking about the wife's cat or dog, if she had to choose between them two animals and me, I'd be worried. I would really be worried because there ain't no telling which one she would pick. But I think I found a new car for the wife, though, because they're talking about possibly selling their loaner cars. And I really like that loaner car that they put me into for the 4 days. Gas mileage ain't that great. It's only about 17 miles to the gallon. But that's not as good as, I mean, she's getting over 22 or 23 for the gallon that she's getting now. But yeah, that would be, but it's a much nicer car than what she's driving now. A little bit newer, but it's got, it doesn't say it's low to the ground, which she's, her knees are starting to give her a little bit of problems, and it's kind of difficult for her to get in and out of the car she's driving now. Her knees are bothering her. Hey, the stress of looking for a lost animal, especially if it's your fault the animal got lost, yeah, that's a major concern. Some animals, some things you just don't. You don't want to get involved with. You don't want to put yourself in a position of losing the wife's favorite animal. You don't do it. Oh, so there's been some fun out there, and we're going to take a look at something here. Our Lady of Perpetual Hilarity, AOC. She got out there and she, hey, Neil, if you're wanting to come online, let me know. Let's see here. Of course, that invitation is open to anybody that wants on. Well, see, you say your lab jumps. That's why, even though we've got a smaller dog, that's one of the reasons why I wanted a 6-foot privacy fence put all the way around the house. For when the cat does get out, he can't exactly jump 6 foot. The dog can't jump 6 foot. So it sort of helps keep them in the yard. The only place that the cat can get out is the gap at the bottom of the gate. All right. Oh, okay. So you're out running around, not listening on your phone. That's cool. That's what I do a lot of times. I'm always running around, taking care of stuff and listening on my cell phone. Yeah, but our cat's a little bit older now, and he doesn't climb quite as well as he used to, even though he's got all of his claws. I still think he had a little bit difficult time climbing. And I did have him set the gate. Well, the gate is setting straight up, but I've angled the boards a little bit so that it's not a straight shot to the bracing. They're setting at a little bit of an angle instead of at 90 degrees. But okay, I am going to share screen. I want to definitely share audio. It's a Chrome tab. And this is what I'm sharing. Okay. Now it's only 1 minute. And here we go.
McDonald's recently announced that they were going to be raising their minimum wage.
Let me start that over.
Recently announced that they were going to be raising their minimum wage, quote unquote, to $15 an hour.
Okay, there is no quote unquote. You're either raising to $15 an hour or you're not raising to $15 an hour. Okay, so her quote unquote there's little. She's just doing what she's doing.
And I think but what they didn't say is that it was only for their corporate locations, which only covers about.
Okay, now McDonald's corporate can't tell McDonald's franchisees how much to pay their employees. McDonald's corporate speaks for McDonald's corporate. Independent franchisors they're independent. They buy they pay for the food and material from McDonald's corporate, but that's it.
5%, 5%.
Okay, wait a minute.
Which only covers about 5% of all of the McDonald's across this country. 95% of McDonald's locations are franchises. And
yeah, that's about right. Actually, I'm surprised that's not even higher, around 98%.
And so we're not buying it and we're not falling for it. And I'm here to tell McDonald's directly that you're not going to do this as a PR effort and you're not going to trick us into thinking.
They're not tricking you. They're saying, McDonald's corporate saying, we are raising our thank you for yelling. Well, morning, Ryan, and thank you for shilling. McDonald's has your corporate stores that they run and they set their salaries for, just like any franchisee. McDonald's, Burger King, Papa John's, Domino's, your Outbacks, your Golden Corrals, all these places are franchises. At least 95% of any national chain food place, they are all franchisees. And corporate can only control corporate stores.
Thinking that you're raising your minimum wage to $15 an hour for all your workers when you're only doing it for 5%. The United States Congress is not being tricked or duped into thinking that they have raised all their wages to 15, and we will not stop adding pressure until they listen to their workers and actually fulfill the demands that you all are asking for.
Okay, Alexandria. Now, let me educate you just a little bit. All right? If you would have spent 5 minutes on the internet, like I did this morning, I think I spent maybe 5 or 10 minutes looking this up real quick. And this here's what I found. All right, now this is your average franchise McNomics. Okay, this is 2 years old. So the price, the numbers aren't going to be exact, especially after this. This is just before the pandemic, so the numbers are going to be lower. But still, an average McDonald's nets $2,700,000 a year in sales. They spend $810,000 just buying food from McDonald's out of that $2 million. Well, thank you, Mr. Scott. Welcome in, welcome in. So that is taking that $2 million, $2,700,000 down to $1,782,000. That's because all that goes straight to McDonald's, just buying this stuff. Now you got your controllable expenses. That McDonald's every year paid out $540,000 in crew pay. The manager made $108,000. Payroll taxes $54,000. Advertising $108,000. Promotional fees $13,000. Outside services, lawn care, and all this other good stuff. Well, good morning, Chuck. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I try to stream at least Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's starting about 10 o'clock in the morning if everything goes right. And I try to cut it off around between noon and 12:30. 12:30 is the absolute latest because I've got to start getting ready to go to work. Yeah, well, the reason why the people who come in, the regulars who've been here every day, I give wrenches to. And I mean, with only like 20 subs, that's not going to be a whole lot of people then, because if I ever get more than, 25 people with wrenches, that'll be the end of it. Then everybody else that comes in after that, well, they all don't get wrenches. Let's see here. I think I've got you here. And since you're here nice and early, there we go. You now got your wrench. Outside, let's see. Outside services is $27,000. Linens, $5,000. Operating supplies, $27,000. Maintenance and repair, $40,000. Utilities, $81,000. Cash shortages at the drawers, yes, $2,000 now a year just in cash shortages. Then other miscellaneous expenses, another $13,000. So that $178,000, that $1,782,000, it just got cut by over $1 million. It's now down to $761,000. Now we got the non-controllable expenses. Look here. You got to pay rent on the property. That's $391,000. Legal and accounting fees, $8,000. Insurance, $54,000. Taxes and licenses. And believe me, license fees are a killer. That's $27,000 a year. Miscellaneous income and expenses, a negative $2,700. Depreciation, $94,000. Interest expenses, $27,000. Net non-product, $2,700. So now, what started off, you had profit after controllables, $761,000. Now it's down to $153,000. Now that $153,000, that's the profit after a year of getting into after a year of operating McDonald's. Oh, where did it go? Now, just to get into the McDonald's, okay, let's see here. All right. A McDonald's, to buy a new one or to own a McDonald's, let's see, here we go. Where is it? All right. If you're going to buy McDonald's to open one up, we can't read that very well, so let me see if I can make this a little bit larger. Here we go. The average cost of a new franchisee, $1 million. You have to have $1 million with a minimum of $500,000 in cash and non-borrowed resources. Other sources state $750,000 minimum in liquid assets. You must be able to cover 40% of the cost of a new franchise location. You must be able to pay cash for at least 25% of the cost of an existing franchise, and the rest financed over at the most for 7 years. So you're talking about investing $1 million. You have to invest $1 million of your pocket, out of your pocket, for a profit, an annual profit of $150,000. That means for 10 years, rough math, 10 years before you make back your initial investment. Okay, Ryan, what, I have no idea what you're talking about there. What, you played 3 machines with the vermilion bird on it, one on all 3. What is a bird with a vermilion? What is a machine with a vermilion bird? It must be one-armed bandits. Gotta be talking about one-armed bandits. All right, so they've invested $1 million in cash and non-borrowed resources for an annual profit of $153,000. So you can figure 8 to 10 years to make back your initial, just to make back your initial investment. And this guy here, okay, how many hours? Now this guy's from New Zealand, who owned 3 McDonald's. Now the people up here that I know that own McDonald's, they own 5. They're not going to give me these kind of numbers, and I wouldn't ask them to. But this guy here, he works minimum 40 hours a week. He's working 48 to 50 hours a week as an owner of 3 stores. He's having to drive. He spends 4 to 6 hours a day at his home office or corporate office. Then the rest of the time out in the stores checking on them. Now, the people I know that own the stores, they're in the stores every day, and they're spending they're spending close to 10 to 12 hours a day working, and it's 6 days a week. And Sunday for them is usually a family day, and they try, other than emergencies, not to have to deal with the stores. They've got another manager that they pay pretty good money to handle the Sunday weekend, the major stuff on Sundays. So now AOC, you've got somebody investing $1 million up front. They're working 50 hours a week, and it takes them 10 years to bring back in to break even on their investments. And you're saying that they're not paying, that you want them to have to pay even more out of their pocket to their employees? Their profit margin is not that great. Now, let's see here. Stop sharing this screen. And now here's another screen that I found that dealing with McDonald's. And now I'm not as positive on this one as I'm not as sure on this one as what all this stuff means. This is a little bit above my head, I believe. Okay, let's see here. And I think I shared the wrong screen. And Godfather's Pizzas, man. I used to have a Godfather's Pizza when I lived in Arizona. That was amazing. Here we go. I think this is the screen I'm looking for. No. Okay, I'm really boomering this. I thought I had all my screens set up. McDonald's profit margin. Here we go. Okay. Now this one here, I'm going to admit to being a little confused on, but that's because I'm not an economist by any stretch of the imagination. But if somebody knows anything about this, can help me out. Okay, now this here goes back to 2008 through 2020. Okay. Again, this here's a McDonald's, the McDonald's franchisee is supposed to be profit margins. Okay, done in percentages. Now in 2008, you're looking at 19% net profit margin. 2010 at 20%, 12, 20%, 14, 19.5%, 16, 19.1%, 17%, and 15. And 18 had jumped up to 24%. So 16 when what happened here in 16? Yeah. Trump was in office and Republicans first 2 years, remember? 2018, 22%. So it went up from 17% to 22% for the first 2 years. It maxed out at 28% net profit in 2019, 2020, 2021, 24%. Now, and according to this, for March of 2021 is 26%. Now, that's their net profit, supposedly. Operating profit around 38%, gross profit around 50%. Yeah, these numbers, to my mind, don't add up. you'd think that this would all add up to 100, but it actually exceeds 100%. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not exactly sure what all this means. What I can figure out, though, this net profit, it sort of lines up with that other sheet that I was looking at. But we're still looking at what profit is, at profit at a franchisee. And franchises don't make a lot of profit. You still end up paying back, taking years to earn back your initial investment. And every month, I work at a franchised operation. Every month, corporate sits there and they get the first check off the bundle. The first bill the boss has to pay every month is to corporate offices. Because if you don't pay the corporate office on time when you're supposed to pay them, they come out and they slap a big canvas over top of your signs. They disconnect your computers from the corporate offices. And believe me, when all your software has to integrate with the corporate offices off the internet and they disconnect you, you're in big trouble. You're in huge trouble as far as getting anything done. You can't do any business like that. So, yeah, you have to make certain you pay your franchise fees. Then your employees and all the stuff there. And I know several smaller franchises that their employees technically work for a payroll company. Their paychecks are paid by a payroll company, not through the franchisee. So technically, all those people work for that payroll company. If you work for a company, take a look at the name on the top of the check. Unless that name says the name of your company, then while you work for that company, technically you work for that payroll company. Because we've gone through that where I work a couple of times. So AOC, you are a twit. You don't know what it takes to run a business. You have no clue what it's like having to earn the money. You sit there and think that a corporate store and a franchisee earn the same amount and you're so wrong. These owners of the franchise stores, their profit margin does not allow them, they're not making multi-million dollars every year off of these stores. Oh, hey, Neil, with you and your cheeseburger thing, I made burgers last night for supper. And I've got to tell you, I had bacon in the burgers. I had bacon on top of the burgers. I had relish and jalapeno in the burgers. I had relish and jalapenos on top of the burgers. I had cheese in the burgers. I had cheese on top of the burgers. Those were the cheesiest bacon cheeseburgers that you would ever want to eat. So, yeah, a good cheeseburger is a wonderful thing to have. Okay, now the Republican version of AOC. God, I can't believe the woman's got. No, I didn't take any pictures of them. That's Gunsky that doesn't like the bacon on burgers. Oh, okay, that's right. Well, the next time I make them up, man, I'll go ahead and take pictures of everything going into the meat and then of what they're like afterwards. But man, yeah, I had a pound and a half of hamburger and 4 pieces of bacon went in the burger to start with. Then little cubes of cheddar cheese went into the bacon. Then a forkful of relish and a forkful of diced up jalapenos went into that meat. Made up my patties, threw them in the cast iron skillet. Oh, man. Yeah, he wouldn't like my burgers. Nah. Bacon goes on burgers. And then to top them off, I put bacon fat in the skillet before I've done the burgers up in them. So there was there was bacon and more bacon on these burgers. Yeah, these say I am so glad I did supper last night was a burger and a big old salad. Needed the salad to make up for all the fat and such inside that burger, but man, was it good. That jalapeno inside of there, and then sweet peppers on top. Man, that was delicious. That's the only way to eat a burger. All right, now I've picked on AOC, so let me go ahead and pull up MTG because she is the Republican version of AOC. Now, I understand where she was going with this, but she really needs to learn that there are just some things you don't do if you're trying to make a point. And this is one of them. This is one of them. You know, we can look back at a time in history where people were told to wear a gold star and they're definitely treated like second-class citizens. If she would have stopped right there, just stopped right there, she might have been able to get away with this comment. But no, she has to continue to run her mouth. And when she did, it was so much so they were put in trains and taken to gas chambers in Nazi Germany. That took it over. I mean, before she took it up to the line, this took it across that line and beyond it. This is exactly the type of abuse that Nancy Pelosi is talking about. What she's talking about here is Pelosi's demands that everybody wears a mask on the Senate, on the House floor when they don't need to. Oh, and let me throw this back up there for you guys. If anybody's got a mic and they want to jump on board, then just go ahead and there's the link. Jump on. I've got no problems with it. But if she would have stopped at that first part of her sentence and not continued on, But she's talking about here is no one should be treated like a second-class citizen for saying I don't wear a mask, or saying my medical records are my privacy based, or my privacy based on HIPAA rights, and so I stand by my statements. Again, if she would have stopped at the first part, there had been no problem. She took it up to the line with that first part. She took it miles beyond with the second part of that statement. Rand Paul, he had COVID. He's saying he's not going to get a vaccine. He doesn't need it. And he doesn't. The science says he doesn't need a vaccine. But Nancy is saying that unless everybody has been vaccinated, she's still going to require masks to be worn in the House chambers. How many people in the House have already been vaccinated or already had gone through the COVID? So therefore, they've already got the antibodies in their systems. And they don't need to get the vaccine. In fact, the vaccine is contraindicated if you've already had it. So, again, MTG, you need to learn to edit what you're saying. Take it, find out where that line is, and stop. Stop it. If you're going to try to get a point across that Pelosi is acting quite a lot like a dictator here, playing politics with the mask, then you're up to that point. But we don't need to have people being forced into wear. I carry a mask in my pocket now. I don't wear a mask. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. It felt weird putting a mask on. I keep a mask in my pocket at work for the rare occasions that I may have to leave out of my little cubicle to deal with the customer face to face without that big sheet of plexiglass between us. And that's fine. I've been vaccinated. I'm good to go as far as I'm concerned. Now, if I got to go out and deal with the customer beyond that piece of plexiglass, then I reach in my pocket, I pull out my little mask, I put it on, and I go deal with them. When I come back, I throw that mask away, grab another one, put it in my pocket, and I'm good to go. Or like yesterday, I went to a doctor's office, and it's, man, you don't get in the door without a mask on. So that's what I did. I put my mask on. I let him go ahead and did the little temperature thing to my forehead. Yes. Well, I needed to get vaccinated. I went to my doctor. I asked him for the paperwork to put me up towards the front of the line. And he agreed I needed to get my vaccinations as soon as I possible. When your immune system is compromised like mine is, you got to pay attention to this kind of stuff. So now we're going to get to, this is the fun one here. And you guys are going, I hope you enjoy this as much as I did watching this one here. Now, I've done AOC. Okay, I've done AOC. I've done McDonald's. I've done MTG. Now it's time for the police car chase. And I hope you guys haven't seen this. I want to share the audio on this. And back the okay. Here we go. Now I'm going to back this up a little bit further here. Okay. You see this black pickup truck right here? That is what they're chasing. I just am bigging this screen so that you can really see this. This black pickup truck here. This is who they're chasing. This screen up here at the top is this car right here behind them. Look at the speed here. They're going. He was over 100. Now he's down to 75 miles an hour, 85, 92. These guys are booking 99, 105. Yeah, they're flying along here at pretty good speed. 111. He's up at, the guy immediately behind him's up to 120. $102, 97 miles, 99 miles, 103 miles. $108. I'm talking about the car up in front that's immediately behind the black pickup truck. 103, 105, 109. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Look, pit maneuver at 110 miles an hour. And he goes airborne.
Going ahead and start EMS.
Look at that. And there is the police car chase of the week. Now, the only thing I've got to say about it is I hope nobody was hurt. I couldn't find out any information on it if anybody was hurt in that accident or not. Well, I don't know. Can you call that an accident? Oh, wait a minute here. Yeah, Battenfield was the... All right, here. Oh, I did find something here. So let me go back and share this again. I didn't look far enough down the file. And... Okay. Let's see here. Okay, after I relayed the suspects to Trooper... All right, here we go. While executing the pit, my unit collided with the passenger side of the suspect vehicle. As a result, both vehicles traveled off the roadway and into the east side ditch. Battenfield's vehicle collided with the culvert. While overturning, my vehicle went airborne as it traveled over. Battenfield sustained fatal injuries, and the police officer sustained multiple serious injuries. So the guy in the pickup truck ended up dying as a result of that. Now, a lot of states, a lot of cities have policies in force that in pursuits, their pursuits only allowed to last so long, and they're only allowed to hit a certain speed. And I'm kind of curious to know if this pursuit exceeded any of the policies. At this point, by this point here, they've already know who's in the vehicle. They've got the license plate number. They know where who owns it. Did they really have to continue that? That chase that video there was over 11 minutes long up to that accident. That was 11 minutes of chasing that vehicle through a town. And there are several occasions where there could have been accidents. Because Nimrods don't pull over when they hear sirens behind them. And I'm always curious about how these guys get along, what they do when they are in pursuit. Do they let their adrenaline take over? Why somebody didn't call that pursuit when they were exceeding 100 miles an hour? There's at one point they were up to 125 miles an hour there. That's dangerous no matter how good of a driver you are, short of being a professional race car driver. Because cops they're not out there every day driving at these speeds. They're not in these pursuits. They don't get enough experience. They may have some training, but they don't get enough experience at driving at those kinds of speeds. Now, I'm not excusing the guy in the pickup truck, Battenfield. I'm not excusing him at all. Okay, I lost somebody there. So was it Neil? You're the only one still with me? Oh, no, somebody come back. So the cops, Battenfield, well, he died as a result of his decisions. The cop, as a result of his decisions to continue that chase, had serious injuries. And he'll probably have to live with the results of those injuries for the rest of his life. He's going to have aches and pains that he'll never get rid of. But they were lucky that those were the only two. Oh, okay, Mr. Scott. They're lucky that they were the only two injured. And that was the only fatality. I don't like seeing these people. I don't like seeing major accidents like that. And the policies of not chasing cars, having those pursuits lasting that long, those are good policies. Oh, I'm sorry.
Shroom.
Hey, bud.
What's going on?
Okay, and who's a lucky young man with that deer?
That would be me.
That would be you.
Yep.
So that's at least a 20-year-old picture then.
I think I was probably around 10, 11 years old, maybe. So, right. Yeah, about that long. Maybe 25 years. That was my first good buck. Yeah, but no, that was no accident. That was suicide by a cop. That's what that was.
Well, No, it was no accident because the cop intentionally pitted him. So that was no accident. That was an intentional pitting maneuver. But again,
I do have
is a pitting maneuver at excess of 100 miles an hour a safe maneuver to be doing?
Yeah.
In this particular case, it was not a safe maneuver. But
I've got family members that are working the police force, but I don't know exactly what all the stipulations and rules are, though.
Well, I know here that pursuits over 70 miles an hour are they have to get permission.
Yeah.
For any pursuits over that exceed 70 miles an hour, and anything over 90, I believe, is absolutely forbidden.
Okay.
They've got to call off the pursuit.
Gotcha.
And usually by that time, though, they've already got all the information they need to track the individual down later on. They've got plate numbers and all that other good stuff so that they know who they need to go after.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's why, when I first saw that, it's like, man, this, chases at that speed.
I do know cops that haven't really necessarily followed the rules, because there was one incident where I did just so happen to get arrested, and on the way to the station, this dude was flying down the two lane road, backcountry roads, flying at like 100 miles an hour. I'm not even buckled up, and this dude is all over the road and everything. And I asked him, dude, can you just slow down a little bit? And then as soon as I did that, he sped the fuck up. Like, he put my life in danger, I think, at that point, because he could have hit a damn deer. A deer could have come out of nowhere and just ruined our whole day.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. Are you going to have some kid walk across the street in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
A skateboarder. How many videos have we seen of skateboarders sliding across the street without paying attention to what's going on, or a kid on one of them little tricycle type things?
Well, see, this was late.
The big wheels.
This was late at night too, so that added another level of danger to it.
But when I first saw that accident and the cop car going through the air, I was like, wow, this is something else. And then I found out that the guy died, and it's like, oh.
Yep. What did he supposedly do? Did it say?
No, it let's see here. All they were saying that it was deputies were pursuing a black pickup truck driven by Battenfield, which is just driven through several traffic lights without stopping and passing traffic on US 71. So,
well, he had a bad day.
Yeah, his day ended in a Sebastian's County Sheriff's Office. So, yeah, wherever that happens to be. But
I would call that a Darwin Award winner.
No, Darwin Award, yeah. Let me see something here. Let me do a quick Google or Bing it. I don't use Google, I use Bing. But let's see if I can.
I use DuckDuckGo unless I'm using Streamlabs. or StreamYard because for some reason StreamYard don't really work on DuckDuckGo.
Well, for okay, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, here. Just as the sun was rising on April 10th near Fort Smith, Arkansas, 34-year-old Justin Battenfield ran a red light in a black Dodge Ram he just purchased a few days earlier. For reasons that will never be known, Battenfield, who lived on Social Security payments from a mental disability, refused to stop when a U.S. Forest officer tried to pull him over. So, yeah.
That was just a bad situation altogether then. Because it
Yeah,
sounded like he probably didn't have plates, and that's if he just recently bought it. And that's maybe why he got stopped in the first place.
Well, he got they were wanting to stop him for running a red light.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Okay.
I don't know if he even had plates, yeah. Because
And
if he didn't have plates,
that's Battenfield there.
If he didn't have plates, that could be one of the reasons why they chose to take the measures that they did.
But that's Mr. Battenfield there. So what happened next was predictable. The truck flipped and rolled. Battenfield was killed. He's one of at least 30 people who have died since 2016 when police performed the pit maneuver to stop a fleeing vehicle.
Well, what are they supposed to do?
So,
I mean, you can't control the car after you pit maneuver.
Well, that's true.
That's like people saying he should have just shot the knife out of his hand or something. Tase his foot.
Well, he did have temporary plates on the car, on his truck. But the thing is you know that pit maneuvers at speed are going to cause damage.
We'll say that.
Yeah, you know something is going to happen when there's when stuff happens at speed. So, physics is a thing. And, they're doing high-speed pit maneuvers is at 100 miles an hour versus the pit maneuver at 60 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The physics changed quite a bit there.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, try doing a pit maneuver on a car doing 25 mile an hour. You're not going to get the same reaction as you do at 50, 60, 70, 80, and obviously 100 miles an hour. So, yeah, there's issues there. And I don't see why. And I'm not anti-cop. Let me get that out front here. I'm not anti-cop. I'm not a member of the defund the police. But I do believe that certain people that, there's rules there that protect everybody's lives. And even Battenfield's life, the risk of that happening at a excess of 100 miles an hour should have been taken into consideration before they did it. The laws of Newton's laws do come into effect. And that truck is momentum is still going to be carrying that truck in one direction forward, even though you've now changed the direction that the truck is facing. That truck is still going to be heading in its original direction. And with no wheels and nothing there, it's going to roll. So I think that pit maneuver never should have been done to start with. not at that speed.
He could have just stopped. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I agree. I agree. He could have just stopped. There's no two shades about it. You're right. He could have just stopped. He should have just stopped.
Yep.
He chose not to stop. All right. There's no argument there. The argument I'm saying is that the cop should not have done the pit maneuver in excess of 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Okay. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
He put it, the cop not only put at risk Battenfield's life, which he ended up losing, but he risked his own life in doing that.
And possibly other people.
Right. And possibly other people could have been hurt. So, that's the only point I'm making on this. Is there's no need for to take action against the cop now at this point, against him personally. Man, he's already paying for what he did at that speed. He's going to be hurting for the rest of his life with these injuries he sustained.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. All right. The family Battenfield, should they have a legal recourse now against the departments involved?
I mean, if internal affairs deemed necessary that there was something that he did that he should have done, then maybe yes.
Well, the question is
that would be
should he have
side,
should he have done a pit maneuver at excess speeds like that? That is going to be the ultimate question. And has Arkansas legislature already passed any laws based on that? Did the police department, departments of either one of these officers involved, have any policies on high-speed pursuits that they ignored or violated? Or should
because I mean, didn't you say that they're anything excess of 100 they're supposed to stop?
Well, no, I'm saying that's where I'm at, where I live. This is in Arkansas. This wasn't in Florida.
Okay.
So that's local policies with the local police.
If I'm not mistaken, it's similar here too.
So it's these are what Arkansas and what the state troopers policies have in place. What the town there that this guy was from. Let's see here. Whatever town this was near Fort Smith, Arkansas. What those towns have got in place, who knows? I don't know. And that's, the families may have cause here, which, as sad as it is to say, I wouldn't be able to disagree with too much, because even a dummy like me knows you don't do something like that at 100 miles an hour and expect nothing wrong to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. But that is what it is. And people should, wait a second here. All right. Y'all don't need to hear my cough.
I've got one that's recent for you.
What's that?
I said I've got one that's recent for you from the 4th of this month.
What's that?
I put it in private chat.
Okay, let me.
It's a police chase and shooting.
Oh. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Whoops, wait a second here. There we go. Okay. Back that up. Is that shared out? Yep.
Now to the new information on the police chase on I-10 that ended in a hail of gunfire. We've learned today another life has been lost in this tragedy.
3-month-old LaMelo Parker died overnight. The baby boy was inside the car with his father, Eric Smith, as he led up to 50 squad cars from Baton Rouge to Biloxi on the chase.
Wow. All from Baton Rouge all the way to Biloxi?
Yeah. 50
That
cars.
That is a run. And then going down I-10. Yeah, that's even. I've driven I-10 quite a bit. That is a serious stretch of road to be. I'm sorry?
I said 50 cars.
Yes.
Looking over the many videos we have received from witnesses, you can see 20 law enforcement officers from a variety of jurisdictions walking toward the stopped vehicle, many with guns drawn. We can hear at least 20 rounds of gunfire fired toward the suspect's vehicle. Whether the baby was hit by a bullet will be determined in an autopsy set for tomorrow.
And that question haunts one mother who actually witnessed the shootout. We saw her video early in our show, and Andres Fuentes joins us now in the newsroom with more from her.
Yeah, Allison, Eric Darrell Smith drove about 42 miles into Mississippi before meeting his fatal end on the side of the I-10. One South Mississippi mother traveling with her own child witnessed it all, from the chase to the stop and then the shootout. She didn't want us to show her face. However, she did let us show her face, but she wanted to talk more about what she saw and how she felt watching it all unfold right in front of her.
It was supposed to be a normal trip to the mall for Patricia.
Wow. They're really stretching this out. I mean, it's a 3-minute video.
Yeah. Damn. I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah. So let's see here.
130-mile police chase of a double murder suspect, Eric Smith.
7 miles.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember this one. All right. Yeah. Now I remember this one here. Killed his wife and a friend, if I remember right.
I'm not sure.
He was slowly making his way along the interstate after spike strips flattened all 4 tires.
And there was about 30 to 50 cop cars right behind him. Look at all these cop cars. It was pretty scary.
And it was about to get more frightening. Viewer video captures the moment a Harrison County deputy bumped Smith's car into the median, bringing the chase to an end.
And he has been hit.
And then gunfire.
Oh my God.
The thing that came into my mind was the infant in that car. They got a kid in there, though. They got a kid.
Law enforcers knew Smith had his 3-month-old son in the car throughout the chase. Investigators have released little information, but say as Smith exited the vehicle, shots were fired.
That baby didn't have a chance at all in that situation, and it's terrible.
Ramos is one of many who shared video on social media, most asking the same question.
Oh my God! Maybe something else could have been done. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
you're talking about that dude with the pit maneuver. This guy right here, or these guys, man. If they seriously did know that there was a very small child in that vehicle, Like, why? What was the reasoning for putting that child in danger and killing that child?
Well, the question. Okay, now, when he got out of the car, did he pull a gun or something on them?
I do not know, actually. This makes me want to know more about this because I haven't even seen this story. I don't watch the news. I just I searched for it, and I found that.
Yeah, but did he pull a gun on them when he got out of the car? That
even then, I mean,
I stopped sharing that so I can scroll down and read through here real quick.
Even then, if that was the case, I've seen police videos where there was extremely good shoots. Like there,
Oh yeah.
I seen one. I think Donut Operator. He covered this story where this dude, this officer, he come around the corner. There was a suspect holding a gun to a child's head, and somehow the child got out of his arms and kind of moved out of the way for a second, and the guy instantly double tapped. Like he shot him once in the head, or once in the chest, once in the head, pat pat, like right then and there. And I mean, it was phenomenal, you know. And I'm not saying everybody is capable of doing that, but that just goes to show you. I mean, I know for a fact in Mississippi they don't get enough training. I know that for a fact, you know, because I do know police officers, and they should get more funding for training and not less funding like somebody else, other people that want to do that, you know. Like,
well, morning, Becca. Becca has slid in on us here.
hey, Becca.
Good morning to you. Yep.
Yeah, you would like this story, Becca. Go ahead.
I don't know if anybody likes this story where a baby ends up being killed.
Yep.
That's not a story that anybody with any kind of a soul likes.
Yep.
You know. The question, that article doesn't say. I scrolled down through it whether or not that guy had a gun when he stepped out of the car, or what initiated. Oh, that's no problem, Becca. I mean, we all have lives. We all got lives we got to live, and
yeah, I was at the store before.
I just appreciate somebody showing up. I appreciate anybody who pops in and says hi. Ryan was in here for a while earlier, and Mr. Scott showed up for a little bit. Check Your Logic was in, yeah. And I appreciate anybody that shows up and thinks I'm worthy of a few minutes.
There's Scott.
Yes. Why would you want to time Becca out?
Because Johnny Bonsacco was timing her out last night.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't stay for that. I couldn't stay for that whole stream. I listened to part of it this morning.
Yeah, dude. The main reason why I got on his stream last night is because, check this out. When I got off the stream with Irate and I went to go turn my headphones off, for some reason, I think what had happened is the outside rubber on my headset had wore out and cracked, and then the rubber piece that was underneath that was in the button to mash the power off came out, and so I couldn't turn it back on anymore. And I was like, well, fuck. And the bad part is I can't use my phone to make calls unless I'm on Bluetooth, because my microphone on my phone don't work either. And I will not get another one of these phones. It is a Motorola G7 Supra. Do not get one of those phones. It is a piece of junk. The first phone I had did the exact same thing. I had it replaced, and it did it again. So I'm not going to get another one of these phones. But anyways, I got a new headset, and I got a JLab Studio model, and it is, I think, 10 times better than the other JLab in earbud, that I had that was wireless. So
Well,
I'm happy with them
for,
so
for my phone, I'm a huge fan of the Samsung Note series.
far.
I started off with the Note 3, then I got the Note 5, and then I bought the Note 8. I love my Note 8. I never had a problem with the battery. But then they went and shut them all off.
I think
So
the
I
Note
had to go.
is more of a like business oriented phone, isn't it?
Well, yeah, probably you'd say that, or somebody. The big thing with that I use it for is that it comes with its own stylus, and you can sit there and write notes on it, and then save the notes and pull them up later on.
Yeah.
All right, which because of my crappy memory, and it's a lot, and I've always got my cell phone with me. I just love being able to do that.
hmm
And the Note phones are a good solid phone.
Yeah. Spittle made the joke yesterday that I need a new phone fund. I was like, well, I guess I need to get in a hot tub then, huh?
Let's see here. Oh, a Google phone for work. But you fell asleep last night on Sacco? Oh no.
Mhm. It was a
Oh,
5 hour stream. What do you expect?
oh.
Yeah. She had to go to sleep, and then she woke up eventually, and then went back to
Yeah,
sleep.
Mr. Scott, you're right. Yeah, the Galaxy 8 is the one that had the battery issue. That was the first phone I'd ever bought, pre-ordered, and had delivered to me on first day. I was a first day adopter of that Note 8. I prepaid for it, had it already, and I used it up until the day they shut them off. I did not want to get rid of that phone.
Huh.
I mean, but now I think, I'm using the Note 10 now, and again, it's a very strong phone. I absolutely love it. And then I've got two different headsets I use with it. Here at the house, I use a cheap set, the $45 ones. Because and then once I leave the house, though, especially if I'm driving, I've got a set of AeroShock Aeroplexes,
hmm
and they're the inductive. They don't use earbuds, so your ears are actually open.
Hold on, check this out. I'll show you the one, or I'll show you the box of the ones I got. And tell you the truth, so far, I'm very satisfied with them. Hold on, let me. It's the JLab Studio Wireless, and it's got 30-hour playtime. I was on a 5 hour stream last night, and
All right.
literally my battery was only on like 90 something percent after I got off the stream.
Oh, nice.
And they're very
Now,
comfortable. Sometimes they do start kind of hurting your ears a little bit, but that you can kind of shift them and take the pressure off of your ears. And I think the mic, I was re-listening to the stream, and the mic definitely picks up better than my other JLab that I had.
now this is the type I use now. That once I walk out of the house, and
Oh yeah,
I
I've had some similar like that design before.
and I can usually get about 14 hours at least, 14 to 18 hours
Yeah.
of and I mean I've always got either an audio book, music, or YouTube going.
Yeah, these take a while to charge, but like I said, it's got 30 hours of playtime that you can just the entire time,
And
which is cool.
well, these aftershocks, they charge in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And in fact, they tell you don't plug them up and go to bed. You know, charge them either before you go to bed or charge them after you get up.
Yeah.
Usually no more than 2 hours.
With everything that you have to charge, it's best to do a full charge and then run the battery all the way completely out and then fully charge it again because
Right.
batteries do have memories to them.
Yep, you
Over
do develop memories, right? It's like I got a Samsung smartwatch, and at least once a week I let it go down to where that just shuts off on its own because of the battery dying, and then I recharge it from there.
Yep.
So, and I do the same thing with my phone. I do the same thing with all my headsets. A lot of times, at least once a week, I let them go all the way down to where they shut off on dead battery. I have never used an iPhone, Becca. I've got no plans on using an iPhone. iPhones are made by Satan for Satan's minions. My daughter-in-law loves her iPhone, and every time she has a problem, she's at the house, she has problems, she asks me to look at it, and I hand it right back to her. Sorry, it's an iPhone. I don't use them.
Ooh, I got a story for you. A crazy one. Let me see if I can find it. No, hold on. I'm going to see if I can find the article on it. It's crazy. This happened a little while back, though. Let me see.
But yeah, this company here, these aftershocks, they even have one now that you can go swimming in.
Dude, what now?
Yeah, these aftershocks headphones. I've got one now that you can go swimming in with no problem. They don't short out.
That's crazy. I don't think I would trust that though.
So, well, I mean, I didn't say diving. I said swimming.
Yeah. Check this out. I put it in private chat. This happened in 2017.
I don't like spending. But then those aftershocks are expensive. They're $150.
Man, these studio head JD Lab
Holy
studio.
What?
Yeah. These JD Lab studios were only $30, and for $30, I'm very, very satisfied so far. Just saying.
No, I'm not even putting this up on the screen. No. When did it? Oh, this is a 5-year-old story. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, but no, it's a woman comes home to find a man's severed head on her front porch. No.
He what had happened was his word on the street is he was messing with the cartel and he screwed him over.
Becca, okay, now you're right there. If you're having to do stuff with work, and I tell you, a company I've got to give a lot of kudos to here. I've done it before. Is Epson. I bought one of their new Epson tank style printers, printer, fax machine, etc., etc., etc. And it doesn't use individual cartridges. You buy a bottle of ink, you fill it up, and let's see, we've had it now for almost a year, and I've only had to refill the black ink once. And it gets worked on every day. It prints out every day. So, but the particular model we bought it wasn't the $800 professional business model, and this is like a $400 model. And when you got faxes in, it was saving all the faxes in as a TIFF file. Well, one day I called the Epson people, And I just asked them if, why can't this thing save as a PDF file? PDF files are a lot more convenient for transferring from the fax machine. I can email it to my boss. It's no problem with opening them. We use PDF files all the time. And about a week later, an update came through for the fax machine, and boom, it was starting to save as a PDF file. In fact, PDF became the default file on that. And all it took was, I called them and said, why not? It makes it a lot more user friendly. So, I mean, really huge kudos to Epson on that. Who would have thought?
Here you go. You'll like this one. And you don't even have to share the audio.
Okay, what we got here?
Here you go, Becca. This one's for you.
Okay, that one is cute. That is cute. I like that one.
There you go, Becca.
You can't go wrong with that. Look at that little puppy.
Got him.
That is so adorable. I've got a video of our cat I wish I could show. It's but I don't have it on my computer. It's on my phone. Got one of those clear bird feeders that you got suction cups and you can put it on your window.
Mm-hmm.
And gave it to my wife for part of her anniversary present. She, believe it or not, that was something she really loved. And she cleaned it out and put it on the window that day. So she's really into getting into her bird feeders. So she put it on the bird feeder, and I suggested that she put it high enough that the squirrels couldn't reach it from the window ledge.
Yeah, it's good to have bird feeders, man, because you got more birds you got around, the more bugs they eat.
Yeah,
so it's good.
So
it's a win for everybody.
Anyway, there's I was up there about 3 or 4 days, and all of a sudden the cat jumped up on the couch, and I'm like, okay, what? It wasn't his usual way of getting on the couch. He was almost, attack mode.
Yeah.
And here a squirrel was sitting on our window ledge trying to reach up to the bird feeder. And the cat wanted nothing to do with that. The cat was just sitting there doing his thing like, what is going he just was not having nothing to do with that, but he couldn't get to the squirrel. And the squirrel must have realized it because he stayed there at the window just walking back and forth with his belly up against the glass.
Yeah.
Trying to reach up to the bird feeder.
Because they know they can't get to him. They know there's a window there. I've seen that before several times. But I've had 2 cats before in my life, and both of them were like stray cats. They just kind of chose me.
Hey, Adi? Am I pronouncing that right? ADI. Is that Adi? Welcome. Glad to see you.
What's up, Adi?
But yeah, that squirrel doing a dance across the window ledge.
So both of my cats, they would flip out at that situation. One of them, especially, she was a black cat, right? And this cat was insane. All right. Well, I've seen this cat several times do the same thing. Like she'd see a squirrel out there in the yard, and she'd be there looking in the yard, and she is just wanting to kill it and just making noises and stuff. I'm like, cat, you were insane. The first cat that I had, he was just as insane too. His favorite toy, for some reason, was the hall light. He would jump up and turn the light on and off if he wanted it on or off. I called him the hall monitor because if you walked through the hall too fast for him, he was literally going to come out and attack your leg. One day, oh, this is a hilarious story right here. One day, he decided he was going to start attacking me. Well, I ran from one side of the hallway to the other. He chasing me the whole time. I pick him up, throw him on the other side. He runs back. I'll jump over him, run over to the other side, and then we just go back and forth a couple of times, right? And then all of a sudden, my sister, she was in the bathroom, using the bathroom, on the toilet and everything, all right? And I was like, I kept knocking on the door every time I ran past. Man, open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door. She finally did something very stupid, which was open the door. I ran in, the cat ran in, I ran out, and next thing I know, she comes out and she has the cat attached to her face like one of the brain suckers on the Aliens movie. She was not happy with me.
Okay, I'm sure we've all seen this video before, but it's still something that I just this is one of those ones where I just love it. It's
having the same squirrel attacking your bird feeder for 2 years. Man, I done got a pellet gun after him already by now. I'd have had squirrel soup. My granddaddy would have been proud.
Remember when, I don't know if they still had them out when you guys were kids, but when I was a kid, on the playground, there was a metal pole in the air. Then off the top of it came a triangle thing down and around, and you would be able to spin it and get kids on there, and they'd be holding on to it and then going around, and you'd be, I felt like that squirrel there.
Yeah, Addie, I just figured that out when I seen your messenger. That's my homie Puppy Lord that I've been gaming with for a while, like years. He's a cool dude.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, you ought to get on here one day, Puppy.
What?
He's been talking about for a while, maybe doing some live stream stuff. He's been thinking about it, but he's in college right now, working on his doctorate, his degree.
Oh, so you're a smart one.
Oh yeah, he's an engineer.
Mechanical, electrical.
No, basically he's kind of like a medical, I guess, type engineer. I can't really.
I just posted
it's something that he would have to describe to you.
Well, the link is in there. Anybody that wants to join up. I've got another 30 minutes, 20 minutes before I got to get off to start getting ready for work.
He's right. We do more than game. We sit there and talk politics and rage all the time about stuff. He's a cool dude, man. Like, yeah, he's like one of my brothers, man. Like, I've known this dude for years.
So, flexible magnetic bioprobes. Okay. Medical probes. No, right there tells me I want nothing to do with them because they're either going down or up. No.
Yeah. He explained it to me. Basically, what he's trying to do is he's trying to develop a articulated snake type medical
Okay, so
device.
it's either going to go down the throat or up the poop chute. No, I want nothing to do with either one.
No. It's more like incisions, just like they kind of do now, but completely different. The articulation is what the special thing about it is.
Yeah,
How
ET
it
all up your
articulates.
butt. Yeah.
No, it doesn't go through your butt or anything. It's not that type of probe. It's like incisions, where he can go into your arm and then
I'll go up through the blood vessels and such.
Yeah, do it as precisely as possible. You know what I mean? And do work.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Now
look. He would have to really describe it. He's a lot more intelligent on that aspect than I am.
Yeah, I had one of those done on me. They went up through my femoral artery up to my heart. Went back when they thought I'd had a it's right after, it was about a week or so after I quit smoking. I'm laying in bed, I'm asleep. And all of a sudden, man, my chest, I couldn't breathe. My chest felt like I had an elephant sitting on me. My left arm was my left arm was hurting. And I got scared and woke up the wife. This is about 3:00 in the morning. And told her to get up, get dressed, and get my fat butt to the hospital. I thought I was having a heart attack. And
he said contemporary ones basically move through fluids, but these are not novel on the sense that we move through solid tissue. So now dealing with the elastic body, not the fluid.
Oh, now see, Adi, I need to have you on to where I can ask questions and have you actually answer them. Mm-hmm. Because now you've got my interest piqued on that. Because going through solid tissue like that, okay, I can see going into a cavity like the abdominal cavity or the chest cavity. But going through, the muscle of the arm or the thigh or something like that, that's that kind of that's something that is like, I need some explanations on that.
Yeah, puppy, if you want to get on, all you got to do is just click the link and it goes through your browser and then put your mic on. I don't know if you got time though. He's in England right now.
Oh, and he's a Brit on top of it?
No, he's not a Brit. He's actually Indian. He's from the South down here. I'm not going to just.
Okay, yeah, don't dox him.
Yeah, no. If he wants to say where he's from, which he might, he doesn't mind. But he's from down here in the South, and he's Indian, first generation. His parents come over here and all that, and he's in England right now studying.
Okay, yeah, I've got the guys I work for. You want to see me jack? Okay, y'all know I work at a hotel. You want to see me jack up your rates? Come in and ask if the place is American owned. And when I say yes, it is, say good. I'm tired of staying in places Indians own. You are going to see me jack up your rates in a heartbeat. And I don't care who you are. You come in with that kind of an attitude. It's like and that is surprisingly how often that happens. Get some jerk comes walking in, and it's just not white guys, it's black guys, it's Hispanics. For some reason, they come in and they've got something against hotels if they're owned by Indians. And we're talking dot, not feather.
Yeah.
And
but if you want to if you want to talk about Indian stuff, dude, we've had massive conversations about Indian culture and his religion and all that too. And I had no idea about his religion. I can't remember exactly which it is specifically, but we had talked for hours about the similarities to Christianity and all that. Like,
well, one thing is I've worked with these people now for over 10 years. They're more family than employers. I mean, I haven't made certain my phone is programmed in to show me all the major Indian holidays, so I can make certain that I can do things right for them.
Well, see, that's cool.
But the one thing that surprises, and as long as they've known me, and as long as their children have known me and their children's wives, they still get surprised when they've had some sort of a feast or something. They bring over, they'll bring in the extra food and put it down in our break room for us to enjoy. And they always they remember to put one box over and they'll put my name on it, because that's the stuff that's got the really super flavorful stuff in there.
He said Vaishnava Hindu.
Right.
If I pronounce that right.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Is that with Ganishki, Adi? Yeah, the Indians I work with, their Ganishki is there. Oh, okay. Krishna based. All right. Okay.
I have no idea about it.
Okay. Well, see, unfortunately, working with Indians like I have for as long as I have, they have
I'll put it to you this way: the conversation
I've learned quite a bit about it.
The conversation that we had about it, he was telling me so damn much that I couldn't even remember it all. Like, he knows a lot about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to know a lot about your own religion.
Well, what I mean by that is he loves to talk too. So it would be cool to get him on sometime whenever he can.
Adi, I would love to have you on sometime. Ryan, welcome back. But Adi, I'd love to have you on sometime. This would be that would be a fun be fun to have you online with us.
Dude, I had fun listening to him about it, because I told him, I don't know nothing about Hindu and Indian culture and stuff like that. So getting to know him over the years, it's like I've learned a shit ton about him, and I've learned that it's really not that much different than Christianity. And from what he told me, they even mention Christ in their religion as well, because it's the oldest religion in the world. So
okay,
that was cool.
Shrimp and grits. Well, at least half of your food is edible there, Ryan. I can always go handling some shrimp.
Shrimp and grits. He said that because Irate asked me if I ever had shrimp and grits, because I brought up Louisiana gumbo.
I am not a fan of grits.
I don't mind grits. It's just the seafood I don't really care for. The reason why I like gumbo is because the flavor mix is different and it doesn't really taste as seafoody,
Now my wife's the same way, so I can understand that. Her idea of good fish is Mrs. Paul's fish sticks, or she can get
I like salmon.
One of our local places here uses mahi in their fish tacos, and she likes that. Oh, you're up $290. That's the way to go.
He been playing them slots. I can see he's like Mississippi.
You know, I never played slots. I used to go to Vegas when I was in the service. We'd go out there to Nellis every year for a couple, 3 weeks. And I always took a couple $100 with me that was going to be my gambling money. And that was in one envelope all by its lonesome. That was the only purpose for that money was for gambling.
Mm-hmm.
And if I always wore a vest, my gambling money was in one pocket and the winnings was in another. If I won, it went into one pocket. If I lost, well, then I had to, and I never pulled out of the winnings pocket. And the best 2-week time period I had out there, I came home with over 10 grand at the end of it in my winnings pocket. But see, I never counted it while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I had no idea how much was in that winnings pocket because when I got back to the hotel we were staying at, it got put into my, I'd empty out the pocket and put it into the my duffel bag, and that's where it stayed.
Phoenix winning today. Next, I'm going to play Monty Python and the Holy Grail slots.
Now we did have a guy on the dollar slot machine won $50,000 on a dollar slot.
Mm-hmm.
And the lieutenant lieutenant just happened to be there, saw him hit it. And of course, the IRS was right there to take their fair share.
Oh yeah.
Immediately. They took their share right then and there. But then the lieutenant let him keep 2,000 of it in his pocket and made him wire the rest of it to his bank.
Hey Ryan, it sounds like we need to go to the Indian casino. You'd have a blast up there.
Oh, let's see. My game is poker and blackjack.
I don't never gamble. When I go to the casino, it's usually just to get maybe the free drinks and food, and I'll take like X amount of money. Like I don't know, the most I've ever took was probably $60, and when I'm out, I'm out. I'm good, and then we're gone. But shit, I go to Vicksburg all the time. Vicksburg's got some pretty decent slots. The Indian casino is where it's at though, but Vicksburg got good food too. Plus, Vicksburg is like a historical city, and there's a whole lot of stuff you could do if you wanted to. Like they got Civil War museums and stuff everywhere that are awesome.
Yeah. Oh. I've never been to an Indian casino. The only casinos I've ever been to were out there in Vegas. I won't even go to Biloxi.
Yeah, that's where Ryan went.
I mean, and Biloxi's not that far of a drive from here. Be there in just a few hours.
Shit. Well, it sounds like Ryan's been having fun. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean. He's up $300. That's nothing to sneeze about.
Yeah.
No, that at least covers his food bill.
Oh, he went to Hard Rock last night. Hell yeah.
Ryan, are they still, as long as you're gambling, free food and drinks? Because that used to be the thing when I go out to Vegas.
I don't know. I've never heard.
You could get if you were playing cards, they'd bring you sandwiches.
I don't know if they feed you for free, but they do give you drinks for free, basically. They've got one casino here that's called Ameristar. That's my favorite one to go to because for like $20-$30, I think it's a little over $20. You get a all you can eat buffet that has got literally everything, like seafood, everything. And man, it's so good too. And that's the main reason why I go.
Now, Adi, that is the way to do it. That
Mhm.
is the way to do it.
Yeah, they got real good buffet there. And that's in Vicksburg. But I
Now,
don't think I've ever been to Biloxi casinos.
now,
I hadn't been to Biloxi in so long. I can't even tell you.
now we had a lieutenant put a $100 bill on a roulette table, put it on a number, and it hit that number, and that paid 37 to 1. So, yeah,
They
put
just
down
started. They just started doing sports gambling at the casinos here, specifically at the casinos. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I know one homie that I've got. He goes to the casino all the time in Vicksburg, like almost weekly, and gambles on sports. And he makes decent money too. But of course, he's black and he actually watches sports too, so he knows what the fuck he's doing. He was telling me a little bit about it. He said it's not that hard, and he told me, matter of fact, it would be probably easier for me because I didn't know about sports and I would just go in there and pretty much bet on what I thought might be the winner, you know.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea, Ryan. You're doing that smart.
He trying to get him some. Oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
not bad at all.
That means you
Yeah,
just did nothing but make money off of this vacation. So I can see why you having fun now.
yeah. Anytime you can go for free and win money. Okay.
Well, good.
Well,
I mean, at least you having fun and you ain't getting a bad experience in Mississippi. So
Ryan, you keep having fun. Audie, is a nice to meet you, and I hope you get back on sometime. I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you're doing.
yeah, he don't mind talking.
And doing crypto. I've stayed away from crypto. I don't
Yeah.
have enough. I don't have enough money to gamble on crypto. But Becca, thank
Maybe
you for
if you
joining in.
You know,
Okay, after the 7th of June, like I said, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are the days I'm setting up right now to stream. Mondays, I'm usually asleep all day. Saturdays, same thing. Sundays is a family day. Saturday afternoons and Sundays are family. I usually have my grandson over. So my time is kind of tied up on those days. Every now and again, I get invited to an evening stream. That one with Johnny and crew the other night. Yeah, that was something else. I was telling my wife about the next day. Is like, yeah, that was a fun that went all over the place. But it is it's 12:30 and I've been going for 2 hours, and I've got to pack up a lunch for work and make sure the dog and cat are taken care of, because the wife's not going to get home until after 5 o'clock. So doggy definitely needs to have his potty time before I leave for work. So y'all have a good day. and enjoy yourselves. And as always, love the ones you're with and be with the ones you love. Bye.
Later, y'all.